Bonsoir les causeurs, bonjour les causeurs, depending on when you are watching this Facebook Live. This is Llyane Stanfield, and today it's night here, but I know it's day in many other places in the world, and so I really wanted this video to be live for most people. And it can be probably comfortable for the West Coast in America, as well as Europe and Australia. So I'm hoping to have more people watching here, and we'll see how this goes. So today I would like to talk about il y a and the particle, it is a preposition en that you can use in order to make the sentences, your French sentences, sound a little bit more the way that you would otherwise create in English, so that you can translate properly what you really want to say. So this is one of the situations where everybody for whom the French language is a second language, you may have to play a little more mental chess, because you have to think in advance about what you're talking, what you're saying. The thing with this is, the advantage of this expression is that it's not gender specific, and so you don't have to think about the gender of the word that you are replacing with this word, this preposition on the, well, it's a pronoun in this case. So I would like to talk about the combination of the expression il y a and the pronoun en. How do we translate this? So I would use it when, for instance, I'd say, how many books are on the table? There are 3 of them. There are 3. So in English, that is what the trick is here. In English, we're not saying of them. That is kind of implied, but in French we do. So you should generally think of the phrase construction in French as being like the older English. Because in English, in the current modern English, we're dropping a lot of words, but in French we're not. And so we are still saying all those words that otherwise in English we're not even translating. So it's going to be like this. Il y a trois livres sur la table. There are 3 books on the table. And this is a pretty a simple sentence for you. So, il y a 3 livres sur la table. Combien y a-t-il de livres sur la table? How many books are there on the table? Which may be a question, or maybe an implied question. And then the answer to this would be il y en a trois. There are 3 of them. So in English, I'd say there are 3. I'm not going to say there are 3 of them, but that of them is implied. And that's why it's a good idea to actually translate the of them in English, so that you have kind of a placeholder for this en. So the reason I'm saying this is because as an Anglophone, you need to translate word for word. And so in order for you to be able to translate word for word, you would need that of them, so that you have something to translate with the word en. This is the expression. I'm going to write and the word it's used. Il y en a. So in il y a, the expression il y a, there are, the verb avoir is there. The expression il y a cannot be translated directly word for word because it's an expression. It does have the verb to have there, and so en is always placed before the verb. Il y en a trois. Now, it is a much bigger discussion, the preposition, or the pronoun in this case, it's used in many more situations, but I don't want you to think of, oh, is this situation and that situation and that situation. What I like to do is to explain the rule in like an umbrella kind of way, so that the way it's used everywhere in French. And so the explanation, today's explanation, doesn't cover every situation. It is really meant for the context, really, if you think about it. But if you do want to learn all the situations and, you know, the easy way that you can actually think about this which is really used a lot in French, then please check out the intensive program. Now, and only now during this contest, it is available with an amazingly juicy bonus, the Bilingual Express, which is an audiobook, and that can help you actually go through to your advanced level in much less time than you thought. The reason I'm saying this too is because I know most of you, you've been introducing yourself in this group, and I know how many of you said, I've been learning French for a decade. I've been learning French for so-and-so years. Oh my God, I learned French in college, and or I remember and I need to freshen up. So the intensive program is for all of these cases. So if you fit any of the situations, if you, any of these profiles, please check out the and conversation, which are not easy, not because they are hard on their own, but because they are not easily translatable, directly translatable word for word from English. And so it's not, again, I'm going to re-emphasize, it is not the vocabulary per se, or the verb conjugation. Little words that are the most important and truthfully the hardest to manage and to master. And so if you are learning them just by translating in each situation, that's gonna make you feel like you have a big head because it's really hard to remember all these situations. But if you want to have like a rule of thumb that help you apply these expressions and words overall in French, positioning of the words in the sentence and all that stuff, that helps you think a little less in conversation, because when we think a lot in conversation, we're not speaking much, right? We have to think. That means that we have to stop talking and think so that we can say the next sentence, which typically leads most of the people to, you know, switching to English or just giving up altogether. So if you need to have any of these skills under your belt, or if you want to brush up on them, please come on over to the intensive program. Check out the intensive program and see if that works for you. And I'll be glad to answer any of your questions about it. Stay on your game and keep going for your dreams to become bilingual. Learn to speak Parisian French and break your language barrier. Merci beaucoup et à la prochaine.